Hey, Dan and Chico. Canadians are back on the ice. Boston has not as yet put in an appearance. Score tied at a goal. While I have a moment, I'd like to make this announcement. The Port Elgin Kinsmen's Club's 8th annual Voyager Days weekend is scheduled for Saturday, May 20th and Sunday the 21st. We all know the great work that type of club does, so we recommend to the people of Port Elgin patronage of the 8th annual Voyager Days weekend. Okay, Chico, you're safely back with me. Score tied 1-1. Boston, its chief aim, of course, is to get a split in the two games here. Canadians realize if they lose this one, they're going into a tough rink in Boston. So what's going to happen?
Well, of course, we don't know, do we? But I would say that Boston must be pretty happy with the situation they're in now. And I think they're gonna continue to play it tight, at least for the first 10 minutes, and then kind of look for that break in the last 10 minutes. Of course, if Montreal, either team scores, it would cause it to open it up a little bit. One thing I want to point out, though, Danny, does it seem to you that the players seem to be stick handling more tonight, carrying the puck rather than dumping it in, which has become so predominant in our game? And, of course, it's before my time, but you would know. It seems to me it'd be more like the old-time hockey I hear everybody talk about.
Particularly, I thought, in the second period, they were making plays, they were holding it, not coming to center and getting rid of it and then running in after it.
Makes for very exciting hockey.
Oh, that is the hockey. And now let us see what will eventuate here in this, the third period. And it's Lafleur feeding it in. The Boston territory, Park in there, chasing him, his shot. In on the boards they go. Jonathan cleared it. He had the most shots over two periods, number 17 did. He had 4 for Boston. Now it's Milbury. Lafleur is in there doing forward checking for the Canadians. Out it comes to the line. It's kept in. Now it's slapped off the boards and picked up by Park. Park ahead to Jonathan. He hits the Montreal line. He's stick checked by Savard. Lafleur handing it off to Robinson. Robinson getting it through center. Lafleur didn't see it. Down the ice it goes. And Cheever's leaving it there, and it's picked up by Milbury. Canadians have made changes already in this, the third period. Now up to the line it goes to McNabb. McNabb to O'Reilly, deking in on that left side. There's the shot, high, with Dryden going down, and he holds on. What have you there? What statistic is that, Chico?
Well, this is a statistic that isn't mentioned very often, but sometimes it's more indicative of the play than the actual shots on goal. And we have a total of 39 shots by Boston and 36 by Montreal. And as we were saying, you notice that a lot of shots have gone wide. And there's only been 19 by Boston and 13 by the Canadians on goal, but they've taken many more shots.
It's whipped around the net by LaPointe. Gainey is bumped solidly by Doe. LeBrun's moving in again. Number 14 is Miller. He's after LaPointe, who pulls away from the Boston forward. Over to Gainey. It's at the line. Here's LaPointe taking a look. Fired it into the slot. Smith was there to gobble it up, and Gainey at the line, feeding it back. There's Mondeau. Cheevers out of the net. Now Gainey has it. Back along the boards it goes. Here is Réjean to the other side. Gould trying to get by Rick Smith. He does. And Smith finally comes up with it. He goes to center with Marcotte. The point as it swept off his stick by Smith. Nyrock feeding it to Gainey on the left side at the Canadiens line. Cournoyer is moving up, and it's cleared into the corner. Mondeau after Milbury. LeBrun shooting it to center. Spinning around Savard. He fired it off the corner glass. Lambert, Mondeau, and Cournoyer, the line for the Canadiens. Here's Lambert. In for Cournoyer. Park was there to deflect it to the corner. Now it's Lambert. Bumped in on the boards by Milbury. They get the whistle and the play is stopped.
From the Forum in Montreal, this is Stanley Cup 78.
The challenge of the unknown. Some men go out of their way to find it. But one thing they won't take a chance on is the way they look. So they use Brill Cream. Brill Cream conditions hair, keeps it looking healthy, natural. Keeps you confident you're looking your best. Brill Cream. For men who take a chance on just about anything, but the way they look.
2 minutes and 23 seconds have been played, the third period. Rattel against Jarvis, and again Rattel got the face-off. Boston has won its share, certainly, of face-offs in this game tonight. Here's Risebrough clearing it in, and it is called on the offside.
Huggy Risebrough with the rather large lower lip, a souvenir of a puck which struck him in the early part of the fourth game of the semifinal series against the Maple Leafs in Toronto.
Boston 1, Montreal 1. Milbury, long lead pass. That will be icing with Robinson touching it.
Well, there is Jean Rattel, no doubt a very, very big man for the Bruins. He has scored over 80 points in each of his last 4 seasons. He had 84 this past year. I wonder if he has the longest name, Danny, in the NHL. Joseph Gilbert Yvon Jean Rattel.
He's from the House of Royalty. He has to be with a name like that. How many names have you, Chico?
Counting nicknames? Are we counting
No,
nicknames?
no. Nicknames don't count.
Gary Allen, is it?
That's right. Close.
Glenn Gary Allen.
Drop the Gary and you're right on the money.
But just Glenn Allen.
I want to keep things simple.
What's going on down here?
There's a hassle about the face-off. Who's moving and who isn't, and Bob Gainey and Kerry Doak seem to be the reason for that small gathering of the clan.
From the face-off, again the Bruins getting the draw. Middleton deflected it out. Savard over to Robinson. Here's Ray-Jean Houle returning it to Robinson. Robinson, a fine pass. Jarvis was docked to the ice by Smith, and the Bruins clearing it in. Look at the Bruins, all well in over the Canadiens' line. Now it goes to Savard, a long pass on the right side. Smith clearing it ahead to Rattel, and it is called on the offside.
Rattel showing a pretty good skill at knocking the puck out of the air that time as it was fired up from the Boston zone. I look at the Bruins bench, and they have certainly come up with a much stronger effort tonight than was the case in Game 1. Like Milbury with a bit of a grin on the end of the bench. They were a bit tired. Ken Dryden's theory, Danny, was that the Bruins might have felt good at the start of that game Saturday, but coming off that series with Philadelphia just 48 hours before, he said they were fatigue would catch them early, and it looked like that's what happened.
Well, the Bruins look very, very spry here tonight, and there's Rattel dropping it by. Smith into the center ice area. Fades to the right side. And again, an offside. So we have a fair frequency of whistles in the early minutes of this third period. Does that mean they're playing it rather cautiously?
I would say so. I think they dumped the puck in almost as much in the first 4 minutes almost as they did in the first 2 periods. And I think, and it's interesting because Montreal's got into that pattern also.
Well, a goal at any stage here in this third period could be disastrous against the team who gives up the goal. Nyrop coming out on the right side. At center, losing it to Milbury. He gets clear of it. There's Lapointe handing it off to Lafleur. Lafleur's pass knocked down by Schmott. Here's Schmott, backhand shot. And Dryden gets a whistle and a face-off in the Canadian zone, 2 seconds away from the 4th minute mark into the third period.
Kenny Dryden will not get a shutout tonight, but he is standing at 10 shutouts in Stanley Cup play. The young Canadian fan with the pennant in back of the Montreal net. Face-off now in the Canadian zone. Dryden at the right of your screen, and that familiar pose of his.
The Bruins with the defense of Milbury and Park well in over the Canadian line. They've been getting a lot of face-offs. Let's see if they get that one. They don't. Here's Schutt turning on the Jets, coming in. Good defensive play by Park. Now it comes from the left side. Oh, Savard. He's flattened Marcotte at the Boston line, and the Bruins are called for icing. I guess Marcotte was not looking, Chico.
Now, Bruins are yelling for interference on that one, Chico. Don Cherry might have a point. I don't think Marcotte had touched the puck. Savard leveled him with a shoulder check at the line.
among the players, we call this a suicide pass because the pass is behind Marcotte, and he isn't looking, he's looking behind him. And you see, it could have been an interference call because Marcotte did not touch the penalty, which the rules state he has to or else it's interference.
There is John Cherry. He does not mollycoddle his team. He's a strict disciplinarian, but they have great respect for Cherry. Here's Robinson shooting it, and he whipped it off the glass. Miller knocking it into the center ice area. Lafleur is forced back by Marcotte. Marcotte staying with him. Now Lafleur giving it to Robinson. The score is tied at a goal in the third period. Robinson to Réjean-Houle over on the right side. It's whipped in by Lemaire. Lafleur upended by Milbury. And the Canadian supporters thought there should have been a penalty there. Boston clearing it to center. Robinson ahead to Réjean-Houle, turning with Lafleur and Lemaire. Over it goes to the Boston line, cleared in by Lemaire. Lafleur is in Boston territory.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Montreal Forum.
Now hear this, the months are coming. Return to your cottages quickly.
If every summer night seems like a battle you never win, then fight back with a secret weapon. Strong, effective STP insect repellent killers. Battle the bugs with STP. Take command.
Available at these stores. CBC covers the Commonwealth Games August 3rd to August 12th.
Face off outside the Boston line. McNabb against Risebrough. Canadians got the draw, but it went on to the stick of Jonathan, who pumped it into the Canadian zone. Savard around the net trying to shake off O'Reilly. Now Savard takes a look. There's the pass to Lambert. Broken up on that pass off a stick by O'Brien, who bumped and knocked Lambert to the ice. Here's McNabb. McNabb over the line. Low shot wide. Robinson clearing it to the boards. O'Reilly going after it. Still after it. Pass out is gobbled up by Lambert. He can't get out. The Bruins keeping it in. It's off O'Reilly's stick. Now at center. O'Reilly with it. He has McNabb on the right side, and Cornwallier got the dirt. Oh, Lambert! What a check he took from O'Brien, and O'Brien is going to go off.
Elbowing is likely going to be the call. This is Stanley Cup 78 from the Montreal Forum.
As you roll along, shine on. It's time to have some fun. Shine on. This is your kind of country. It's your kind of life. Shine, shine on. And now's the time for the beer that is brewed just for the country. The beer called Canadian. Most the Canadian. It's your kind of beer.
Could be an important moment in the hockey game. Dennis O'Brien has been penalized for elbowing, and here's why.
At 5 minutes, 37 seconds.
He corked Yvon Lambert, but good. I noticed that as that was all transpiring, Yvan Cornwallier of the Canadians was heading toward the Canadians' dressing room.
Canadians on the power play. Here's Lapointe firing it in, and the feed in there. There is shot behind the net. It goes to Réjean-Houle, back to Lapointe. He winds up. Oh, Cheevers blocked that one brilliantly. Lafleur getting it back to Lemaire. He stand on it. Here is Shepard getting it right. Lapointe is at recovery. Shepard is going in on goal, and tries to knock it off in the corner. Now in front of Smush. He takes his shot. Tries it again, and Dryden covers up. Was feverish action down there in the Canadian zone.
Canadians had only one shorthanded goal against them all season, Chico, but they get awfully close to one right there.
Nice play here by Greg Shepard from start to finish. He steals the puck off Lemaire, and he'll take a quick look over here and see Lapointe coming at him. And Lapointe dives, and Kenny again using good stick work here, poke checks him, and knocks it off in the corner, and he thinks he's out of trouble, but no, that's just a start, because oh, here's another look at it. Again, a good poke check by Kenny. Any kids watching, that's the way the poke check should be played. And, of course, they had another good chance immediately following that.
A minute and 28 seconds remaining in the O'Brien penalty. And it was Boston, since this penalty has been assessed, that had the great scoring opportunities. Now Lafleur in full flight. He's down. He's in over the line. Park is after Lafleur. Lafleur around the net to the corner. Taken in on the boards heavily by Park. Now it's Marcotte cutting in on the left side. And Dryden coming up. Here's Scott. Taking from the back. And Dryden takes it away. A rolling puck off for six on Smart. The point ahead to Smart. Oh, the penalty for tripping coming up against the Montreal Canadiens. Guy Lafleur is going off for tripping.
Comes with 54 seconds left in the Boston penalty to O'Brien, and I wonder, Chico, that wasn't the late reaction on the part of Lafleur. Might have been upset with the check by Park, which was a great check. Nothing wrong with it, but it did the job.
Well, that's right. And, you know, I noticed on the first goal that, or I think it was the third goal that the Canadiens scored the other night, Guy Lafleur actually acts as a pick where he'll get in the way of the defenseman. And I think what he was trying to do was kind of run a little interference there. Well, this is the earlier shot by Marcotte. A good save by Kenny. And then, of course, the puck in the corner, but it's thrown back out front, and he makes another good save here. And it's just great action.
All along.
Again, a good kick save, and you know, it's hard to tell who's got the power play. It's just been going up and down.
So the manpower situation has been equalized with the penalty to Lafleur. Now Nyrop shooting it in. O'Brien, however, with 40 seconds left. Lafleur with 1:45. Into the corner. Doak against Jarvis. They might get a whistle. They do.
You know, Chico, in Detroit, in the third game of the Canadiens-Red Wings series, Canadiens got a penalty in the first period and then proceeded to score two shorthanded goals. Somebody yelled out the next time Montreal got a penalty, yelled out, Red Wings decline the penalty.
12 minutes and 58 seconds remain in the third period. Now Savard comes over to take over on this side, to take the place of Nyrop on the left point. Montreal, everybody up for the face-off between Jarvis and Rital. And again, we have a situation where a couple of players got rather over-enthusiastic. I've referenced McGaney and Doak, and they moved prematurely. Now Gainey and Doak getting stitched up on each other. Back it goes from Gainey's stick, and it's out over the line, down to Dryden. Now there are just 25 seconds left in the O'Brien penalty, and barring further penalties, the Bruins then will have the advantage. Right now it's by the side. Here's Jarvis getting it over to LaPointe, broken up by Milbury. Middleton going after it against Savard. Jarvis clearing it out over the line. Milbury back into Rattel. Over it comes to Middleton. Knocked away from him by Gainey. And it is Savard taking his time. To LaPointe. O'Brien is out of the penalty box, and now the Bruins will have the advantage for a minute and 2 seconds. Savard sending it down the ice. Scores tied at a goal. And this is the third period, nearing the midway mark. Up on the right side, it is Middleton. Cashman is on the far side. Canadiens breaking it up. Ray Jean-Ou rolled it back. Here's Brad Park, the leader of the Boston team. Park, over it goes to Smith on the right side to O'Reilly. O'Reilly into Smith. He got rid of it, and Savard shoots it down the ice. Beavers got a jump on the play by clearing it up on the right side to O'Reilly. O'Reilly to McNabb. In over the line, Cashman. Cashman on the backhand. Savard knocked it away. McNabb falls. It's loose. Ray Jean-Ou shoots it down the ice. And the penalty time remaining a half dozen seconds. The Bruins are not going to have time for another power play rush. Now Lafleur is back on the ice. Robinson clearing it ahead. Lafleur goes to the bench. Here's Park going to the Canadiens line, putting on the break. Canadiens starting out. Rise by with Cornwire. Rise by going in! And he fired it wide. He used Cornwire as the decoy. Now it's Cashman. Back in on the right side, rubbed in on the boards by Robinson. O'Reilly bolted Rysdale. Cornwallis over to Lemaire. Here's Lemaire. Shooting it across the line, and Doak fired it out. And the fans over there behind that glass to the left of the Canadiens players' bench did some ducking. Now, Doak bumped Lambert, knocked him down. Here's McNabb at the line. He lost it. And the stick was above the shoulder making contact.
With the score, Boston 1, Montreal 1. This is Stanley Cup 78.
Presenting the widest range of wagon sizes from Ford.
We've got ideas for working wagons, for wagons that are fun. Ideas that give you lots of room. Ideas for everyone.
Pinto, Fairmont, LTD. From the peppy little Pinto to the full-size LTD and roomy Fairmont, nobody offers a wider range of wagon sizes than your Ford dealer. See him now. The better ideas keep coming from Ford, the Wagon Master.
Fairmont of the Canadiens out there now. He hasn't seen that much action. The Canadiens have had only 3 shots at the goal in this period. Only one has found the target. Boston has had 8 shots directed toward Ken Dryden, and they have connected on 4. Here's that last break. Ricebrough and Ivan Cornwallis, and some of the fans got on Doug Ricebrough after this one a bit, as he elected to shoot on the play, and he missed the net. Was that deflected on the way, Chico? I couldn't
Sure
tell.
looks like it.
Yeah,
It changed directions in front there. It must have hit Rick Smith's stick.
You know, we are just 32 seconds away from 2.5 periods of hockey in this second game, and Montreal has been limited to 14 shots. Boston has 22. Boy, it's hot up here. It's one thing I know. And you know, the winter is finally over. I think the down in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, they're making plans for next winter. Big campaign for a curling rink. And I know that you wish they'll get many financial aid enters in that campaign, Chico.
Oh, I'm always on the side of a good cause, and anything
From the West, you like curling, don't you?
That's right. That was my sport. I had to make a decision to whether to be a pro hockey player or a pro curler, and I picked hockey.
There's not too much money in curling.
Well, it's getting, though, you can at least make a living.
Okay, up on the left side. Marcotte couldn't get anywhere. Milbury against Cornwallis. Mondeau knocked it down. Lambert fired it in. Not too much on it. O'Brien clearing it. Mondeau couldn't get it. Now Lapointe played it back in. At the line, Lambert shooting it back. On the move is number 6, Mondeau, jammed in on the board. Here's Cornwallis centering it. It went by Lambert on the lip of the crease. Lambert bumped his net. Here's unbelievable from the net. Big save by Chevers. Bouncing puck. And Milbury has it. Milbury ahead to Miller into the center ice area. Over it goes to Marcotte. He caroms it off the board. Dryden active. Now it's back in, out over the line. Doak waiting for his teammates to get onside, and he cleared it over the glass. You know, less than 10 minutes to go in regulation time, 9:29.
You know, I would think that every team in the league should get a tape of this game and show it, because Boston has just played so well the whole game and really shut off the Canadian attack.
Well, games 3 and 4 in Boston, Thursday night and Sunday night, and we'll be on the air on both occasions, 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Games 3 and 4 will come to you from the Boston Garden. That's Bobby Schmott at the end of the Boston bench in some kind of difficulty.
They fight for it at center. Somebody, who was it just hit Schmuck?
Oh, but
He took a solid body check. I'm trying to recall.
Lambert, I think it was. Not sure.
Lambert?
Not sure.
He looks a little doubled over there. It looks like it might be his wind. I don't think it's a knee or anything that should keep him out of the rest of the game.
So the team's making changes. Danny mentioned it is warm, and it's getting warmer in this building. It's been a long night for some of these players. Now, the Bruins make a belated change as far as their defense is concerned, but referee Newell says no. Cashman argues the point. O'Brien and Brad Park tried to get onto the ice. Don Cherry concedes the point, and they're ready to go.
9:24 left in the third period. Doak slides it over to Rick Smith. And Cashman whipping it in on the left wing. Here's O'Reilly going in after Robinson, who gets it out. LaFleur. LaFleur passed it, and it was right on to the stick of McNabb and the Bruins. Keeping the pressure on the Canadians, shooting it in, going in after him. Robinson is getting some skating room. Robinson over, it goes to shot going in! And there it was Stokes again. He was able to get over and get that stick on the shot in the play.
You know, there was a play in the second period when Gary Doak was the lone defenseman back on a 3-on-1 break. The play went on for so long afterwards, we didn't get a chance to replay it or really comment on it. That was just a super defensive play, and he makes another pretty good one right here.
I think he epitomizes what the Boston Bruins are all about. Second effort, getting the job done, you know, not being that pretty, but like I say, how many times have you seen him flat on his stomach just like that, blocking a shot or deflecting a shot?
And in Boston, they have rewarded him with the 7th Player Award on several occasions. Now the Canadians getting it back to the point. Here's LaPointe shooting it in, and Cheevers very happy to get a face-off in his own zone. 8:42 left.
Did he take that marking pencil, Chico, and put another mark on there the other night like you thought he would when he got torqued in the mask?
Well, I won't give away his secrets how he does it, but he should have.
Scoring in the hockey game. Park for Boston. Shot for Montreal. Now it comes to Middleton. He hands it off to Jonathan. Jonathan holds it, feeds it in there to the short side. Middleton centering it. Dryden very alert in goal, cleared it back. Here's Whittel out in front. And LaPointe starting out. Down on the left side it goes. Gainey after Park. Middleton turning at the Boston line. Having difficulty against Jarvis. Shooting it in. Rattel with LaPointe. Shooting it off the board. Park feeding it back in. And the Bruins strategy, you can see it. Stay up there on top of the Canadians. There's Rattel doing that. Out it comes on the left side. Gainey. Out to Ray Jean-Houl with Jarvis. Over to Jarvis. A good pass. Back to Gainey. He fires. He scores!
.7:48 remaining in regulation time. The Canadians off the bench to congratulate Bob Gainey and indeed Doug Jarvis for the setup. Chico on the shot, and Gary seemed to see it and moved, but too late. He threw the arm up, but the puck was in the net.
Well, that's right. You don't consider Bob Gainey a sharpshooter, but you won't see a better shot than this here. It's hard to tell. It appears that he may use Park as a screen here. I'm not sure, but he gets good wood on it and up high, just in the crook of Gary's catching hand. And like I say, just a super shot that maybe didn't look that difficult from up here. But we'll see from behind here. I think he got more on it than both Gary and maybe even Bob expected, and it kind of surprised him.
So Montreal in front, 2-1, 7:40 left in regulation time. There's Marcotte against LaFleur. LaFleur getting it out to Schott. Schott still with it, hands it off to Lemaire to LaFleur. He has to chase it off the boards. Now O'Brien. Up on the boards, Robinson keeping it in to Lemaire. Here's LaFleur over on the other side. Pass was too hard. It got by Schott. He was in the clear. There's something back away. And as Cheevers stymied Lemaire.
This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
How are sales in Toronto, Brian?
The essential thing about a meeting is you meet. What if you can't? One of the most ingenious ways of getting together is in not going anywhere at all. The conference call.
Same situation in Calgary, Frank?
Different people in different cities. All connected simply by one of you dialing 0 and asking for the conference operator who sets the whole thing up.
Dennis, would your boys in San Francisco agree?
If you have to have a meeting and can't go, call the conference operator and have it anyway.
And there you have the scoring play at 12-12. Bob Gainey, his second goal of the playoffs. Houle and Jarvis assisting.
Face off in deep Boston territory. Rise against McNabb. Now it's back to Cournoyer. Cournoyer plays it behind the net. Cheevers trying to get it up to a player. Canadians keeping it in. Here's Risebrough. They fight for it. Risebrough still with it. Takes a look. Clark knocked it down out to Lambert. They will get the Cornwall. Cheevers chasing it. And Risebrough tried to tip in a wide shot by Cornwall. That was beautiful to watch Cheevers going after him. It may have been dangerous, Chico, but it was exciting. It's over the glass. Tell us about the maneuvering by Cheevers.
Well, I got to say, that is an original move. I have never seen anything like that before. And that's one thing about Jerry. He always gives you a little bit more than you pay for. And here it is here. He would have followed Cornway all the way to the Boston bench if he would have had to. Just like a defenseman. He just hangs in there. He just about stopped it with his back, but he just hung in there till the last minute. And it doesn't really matter whether you stop the puck as long as you force the player to either shoot wide or hit you with it. And Jerry made just a great save. 2 in a row, really. Here it is again. Not pretty, gets the job done, that's all you can ask. Cornway's even laughing. He can't believe it. He's never seen anything like that.
Well, he hung him out to dry there for a few seconds. Now, Jonathan, there's a long shot. Boston's 23rd. Montreal now is 18. Canadians are leading the Bruins 2-1. This is the third period. 6:18 left. Here's Gainey in over the line. He's bodied. Puck is loose. Jonathan is upended by Jarvis. Here is Middleton getting rid of it through the center ice area. Pouncing on it is the point. And now you'll see Montreal moving up, trying to get the Bruins tied up in their own zone. They're all in there, the forward. Poole, Lemaire, now Gainey goes off and Lafleur comes on. Boston with a line of Middleton, Rattel and Jonathan. Here's Rick Smith bringing it back in for Middleton. Middleton tied up neatly by Nyrop. Good defensive play by Nyrop, number 2. And it was gloved. Gloved pass.
Well, the Bruins almost cashed in on an errant pass off the stick of Guy Lafleur, but Bill Nyrop, the big fellow from Edina, Minnesota, via Notre Dame University, made the defensive play, as Danny mentioned, and he hung on to the bitter end.
Chico, he's a very, very improved player, isn't he?
He is. A little trivia question. I think everybody realized he once tried out for the Notre Dame football team, but do you know which position?
Quarterback.
That's right. That says a little bit about the mobility, and he's not considered one of the best mobile defensemen the Canadians have, but he was a quarterback, and you know they have to be mobile.
You know who beat him out?
No, I don't.
Tom Clement.
Oh, yeah?
Right now the Ottawa Rough Riders. Yeah. Another trivia question.
You're 2 up.
Chico, this dick is amazing, isn't
Oh,
he?
is he?
What a man. Now Robinson clearing it. Out it comes into the center ice area. It's whipped off a leg by Schmott. Robinson ahead to shot. He looks over on the other side, taking on the skate of Lemaire, making that head fake. In it goes, and Lafleur was skating the other way. Brad Park, he is the lone Boston goal. Gainey in shut. Scored for Montreal. A fake pass by Milbury to Marcotte. Marcotte in over the line, back to intending that one for Schmott. It ends up in the corner. Robinson. Now less than 5 minutes to go. Canadians getting rid of it. Down the ice it goes icing. That is not a particularly good thing to ice the puck at this stage, is it, Chico? You haven't got time, Dick.
Live from the Ford in Montreal, the Stanley Cup playoff.
Get away, make your getaway from the city. Get away with the Johnson. Get away, make your getaway to a place in the sun with number 1. Get away, go with the Johnson. Go with the Johnson.
For 50 years, more people in the world have been getting away with Johnson's than with any other outboard.
Coaches who were co-coaches for Team Canada in 1976, and since then have opposed one another twice in a row in the Stanley Cup final.
Chico, how about these ices? You got about 10 seconds.
Well, Montreal's tying them up well in the center zone, so they don't want to give them an advantage by having to face off deep in their own zone.
And they're doing that right now, and there's Rick Smith firing a shot that's blocked. Here's Cornwall. He has excellent speed. Cornwall going in! And a scintillating maneuver by Cheevers, who's going to go right over the Cornwall. Blocked at point-blank range on the lip of the crease by Cheevers. How about that, Cheevers, on these two Cornwall scoring efforts. 2-1. Montreal leading Boston. Now the Bruins coming in. There's O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to drop it back. He does. Here's Cashman on the boards. Cashman getting it out in front. And he scores! The Bruins have tied it up. And who was that? Rick Smith, was it?
Rick Smith came in from his defensive position. Well, you miss them at one end, you put them in at the other. And the big save by Jerry Cheevers kept the Canadiens off the board, and the Bruins come right back. Rick Smith in deep, not usually in that spot. Chico Resch, and the Bruins have tied the game 2-2.
Talk about the value Terry O'Reilly has. Here he drops the puck. Now the puck's going to go behind the corner on the other side of Kenny, and Cashman's in there digging. It comes out front. Well, Rick Smith actually kind of missed the puck, but he got enough on it to shoot it in the far corner, and sometimes that throws a goalie off by the player not getting full wood on the shot.
If the Bruins go on to win this game, there's only one fellow responsible, Jerry Cheevers.
Oh, he deserves
on those saves down there on Cornwall.
That's no question about it. Just one after the other, you know. Well, there's been three now where he challenged Cornwall earlier, and then two there back to back. Canadians have only had 20 shots, but they've all been so tough here. Kenny just doesn't get enough wood on it, and Rick Smith slides it in the corner.
4:12 left in regulation time.
This has to be, no question about it, a big, big lift for Boston.
Oh, yes. It's going to be interesting to see now if they don't sit back. I think they should take the play to Montreal.
Now, Canadians starting out. Lafleur on the right side, going after Cashman. Montreal with Lemaire, Schutt, and Lafleur. The Bruins with McNabb. O'Reilly and Cashman. Score tied at 2 goals. There's Park with the look. Ahead it goes, and it's called on the offside, and with 3:47 to go, and the scarcity of goals in this game, you have to say that overtime looms rather large.
I agree. Scoring play, Rick Smith from Cashman and McNabb at 15:48. And that makes it 2-2.
The point I was trying to make, Danny, with 3:47 left, you're almost into overtime, and so you're going to have to score the next goal, and I think Boston should try and carry the play to Montreal.
Now on the right side, Schmutz shooting it in. Savard is in there, watched by number 19, Shepard, a pass to Robinson. Here's Robinson gathering speed on the right side. He can move. Robinson over the line, trying to get in there, knocked off balance, and then knocked to the ice. And they're going to get a whistle for a face-off to the right of Cheevers. Every face-off in the end now is so very, very important.
And as you said earlier, Boston's had great success in the face-off tonight. And as you say, that could decide it, especially with the point men that Montreal have.
So Montreal with Robinson and Savard on the point. Lemaire against Shepard. That is what they call, in hockey jargon, a false start. Robinson has had an outstanding playoff. Not only in one series, every series. There's Savard shooting it in. It's off a body. In there goes Schutt. It's center. Lafleur shooting it. Oh! He missed the open side. Now it's back off a stick into the centerized area. What an opportunity Lafleur had. He was in at a fairly bad angle. Now on the right side. Schmutz. Clearing it behind the net. It's centered in front. Canadiens. Pass on the left side by Lemaire. Down the ice it goes. Cheevers. Gave it to Doak. Doak winding up on the left side. Marcotte got rid of it. Now then Savard in on the boards against Shepard. And they get a whistle.
On that last play, Dan, Jerry didn't make the save. But when you see Lafleur there all alone, it can be very intimidating. But Jerry hung with them, and he forced them to shoot it wide. And you got to pat him on the back, even though he did make the save.
In other words, it's the angle. Oh, so they shoot to get by him in that area, and if it got by him, it had to be wide.
Exactly, and he knew it.
Now with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in regulation time, Jonathan ahead to Rattel. And it is called on the outside. The biggest crowd of the playoffs on hand for tonight's game, 17,426.
Just a note, that was Rick Smith's first goal in this year's playoffs and second of his pro career.
Well, he's got to be terribly happy over the turn of events. And he had a rough time in the first game. He got 3 penalties in the first period. They scored 2 goals while he was off, and I thought overall his game tonight has been rather solid, and then to cap it off with that goal to tie it, that would be a big, big thing for Rick Smith.
Well, it is, and you know, the Bruins have scored 3 goals in this final, and the defensemen have scored them all. And, you know, that's what's so exciting about the playoffs. Someone that hasn't, you know, like it says here, he hasn't scored a goal, and that's a 57th game without scoring a goal.
Now it's picked up on Middleton. He shoots on a big save by Bryden.
Oh, and
Nyrop has been injured, and what a chance there for the Bruins to take the lead as Middleton, with perseverance, took the puck away. I think he took it away from Nyrop, didn't he?
he did, and that's what caused the injury. As he lifted, or attempted to lift Nyrop's stick, his stick came up and hit Bill in the face, hopefully not the eye, but it appears that he was struck in the face. And, you know, that's a scary thing, just because with the stick and the force you try and lift the player's stick with is quite severe, and if you happen to miss his stick, like Middleton did there, and it hit Bill Nyrop flush on the face. Here it is again here. You'll see here, he's going to attempt to lift the stick, but he missed, and boom, he struck him in the eye, and of course the referee can't call whistle the play dead till Montreal has possession or touches the puck, and that resulted in a good chance.
Very unfortunate about these eye injuries. You know, most of them are accidental.
Oh, yes, yes. Anything to do with the stick and the stick up around the face is always accidental. But, you know, it's amazing the way the body's built. With the eye built back in the eye socket, it's just incredible how many times the players are just nicked above the eye, on the nose, but very seldom do you see the player actually struck in the eye.
That's a rather interesting observation, Dr. Reich.
Well, it's probably not, but...
no, it is. I never thought of it that way, but it is so true. The number of sticks that find that area, yet the very few serious eye injuries.
Yes, thanks for bailing me out on that, but it's true, Dan, and again, I think Bill looks fine. It looks like it was just a cut, and he'll probably get stitches and play the rest of the game or the overtime if it leads to that. But here it is again. See, you'll see him come up hard here, so you know he struck him hard, and again, it was just an accidental thing, and really unfortunate.
Well, we'll try and get word as quickly as is possible, and we all hope that there is nothing serious on that injury, certainly no eye injury. Now the face-off in the Canadian zone. They jam in there, falling on the ice, and again a face-off to the left of Dryden. And Dryden, we forgot to sort of rehash that save he made on Middleton. He stood his ground there. Middleton got a pretty good shot away. He was in fairly close.
That's right. Every save at this stage is a big save, and that's the first probably of a couple that we're going to see here.
Often when you see the goalie does not move, people say, well, he didn't, they hit him. But it's the goalie coming out and cutting down the ankle, isn't it?
That's right, that's right.
Now rolls into Dryden off for a tell stick.
People just continually trying to put the goalies down, Dan. We've got to fight for everything we've gotten, and when you make a good save, you know, it was usually lucky, or else, like you say, it hit the goalie, or if you force a guy to shoot wide, you say the guy shot wide. But 9 times out of 10, it's a good play by the goalie.
Since working with you up here, I feel now I'm fairly well disposed towards the goalie.
You feel that I'm being biased, do you?
No. I think you're terribly truthful.
Yes, well, I do too.
Here's the face-off. Robinson with it into the corner. Robinson gets it out to Jarvis. He's checked. Here's Whittel. Couldn't get a shot. Bruins are buzzing around. They drop it back, and the Canadiens in possession. Bull clearing it to the corner. Jonathan and Robinson in there. Here's Middleton trying to center it. Whittel waiting for the net. Oh! Dryden went down and picked at it, and it went bouncing. Gainey bumping Jonathan. That was a very, very close call. But the Bruins are very aggressive right now.
They are. They've taken the play away, and like I said, I think they feel that they'd like to end it if they could, naturally, before the end of the period. But I think they like their chances with a minute 29 rather than, you know, playing it safe. Here you'll see it. again, Kenny made a good save with a stick, and it just bounced away from Jonathan, but really the last 3 minutes, all the plays been down in the Canadians' end.
You realize the Canadians have not been out of their zone since they were called on that ice.
That's right, that started it, and you mentioned that. It's more than the icing, it's the train of thought you get into. You start thinking defense, and that's what they were doing.
And now let us see, it'll be Shepard against Lemaire. Lemaire shot and Lafleur. There's Shepard, Marcotte, and Schmott. Stokes and Rick Smith on the point. They just fade out of your picture as we get a close-up to face-off area. Here is Shepard trying to center it. Shot has it away. It goes off the skate of Lafleur. Park for Boston. Ahead on the left side. He missed Marcotte, who then cleared it in. And it gets caught up in the sweater of LaPointe. Said, no, I've used all the paraphernalia I'm going to use in the playoffs. Ron Andrews wanted to know why they used paraphernalia. And there is Savard with it. Ahead on the left side at center. They struggle for it. Shepard over on the left side off the boards to Marcotte. He shoots it. Dryden clearing it to Lafleur. 1 minute left in regulation time. Puck is back in Boston territory. There's shot going after Park. And again, the Canadians are called for icing. So you have to say, right here, at this particular juncture, the Bruins have the upper hand.
Well, no question. And, you know, the thing is, Danny, I think the pressure is more on Montreal because, you know, it's their home game and so forth. And the Canadians, obviously, they haven't been in this position very often where they felt the pressure, you know, being tied. Even, you know, most games at home, they're up 2 or 3 at this stage of the game. And it's interesting to see they reacting. They are reacting like a lot of teams. They're dumping the puck out. They're a little bit disorganized. And it's allowing Boston to actually get the momentum.
But you're saying at times they look like an ordinary team. Now the puck into the center ice area. In on the boards they go with 43 seconds left. This has been a grueling, Titanic type of struggle.
It's been a great hockey game, you know, and like, you know, this is what we're talking about, the finals. This is what the fans want to see. I mean, I'm biased. I know you are. And
what?
We're both biased. You have to be, but what I wanted to see more than anything else was a good final. To see Boston do well, it gives players around the league a hope almost. You can say, well, look, if Boston can beat them, so can we. You know, Canadians have been regarded as invincible, and we're seeing here tonight that they can be played even or maybe beaten.
Well, they haven't been beaten as yet. Clark took his man, shot down. Here's Rattel in over the line, dropping it back to Schmott into Rattel off his skate. Into the corner for Robinson. Ahead it goes. Here's Lemaire coming down. The pass intercepted by Schmott. Here's Schutt picking it up over the line. The shot. Canadians in there with Lemaire. Lemaire going to the corner. Rattel has it. Now up it goes to Marcotte. Out over the line. Robinson on it. Gets it over on the wing. Here's Lafleur dashing in there. Lafleur around the net. Taken out of the play. He and Park fall. And regulation time has ended, and it is a 2-2 hockey game. So the great drama, the great excitement of overtime will be upon us after this respite of 15 minutes or so. In the meantime, we look at the Canadians going out. The shots on goal, 28-20 after regulation time. Boston with 28. There's been some fine goaltending in this game.
Well, it has. The goalies have really taken over in the third period, both of them making one great save after another.
So the score at the end of regulation time, Boston 2, Montreal 2.